You meet someone new, not in some dramatic way. Maybe at a dinner house party, the conversation with them feels very nice. You enjoy talking to them. You think, I could actually be friends with this person. Then you go home. You open your phone and want to text them, but suddenly it becomes weird. Should I text? Is that too much? Did they actually like talking to me? Would it be strange to ask them to meet again? And just like that, a friendship that could have started doesn't. Not because the person rejected the other, because nobody wanted to be the first one to look interested. That's the strange thing about making friends in America now. People do want friends. A recent Bumble for Friends survey found that 60% of people said they wanted to make new friends, but 52% had not made a new friend in the last year. So the problem isn't that Americans suddenly stopped making connection. The problem is that making friends nowadays comes with a small psychological war. One part of your brain wants connection, the other part wants protection, and protection usually wins. Psychologists call one version of this the liking gap. It means after talking to someone new, people often underestimate how much the other person liked them. So you might leave a conversation thinking, I was awkward. Meanwhile, the other person might be thinking, that was actually fun. But your brain doesn't replay the fun part. It replays the paused out the sentence you said weirdly, the moment where you didn't know what to say. Your brain becomes a detective looking for proof that you embarrassed yourself. And once it finds even one small thing, it says, don't text, wait for them. So both people wait and nothing happens. That's how a lot of adult friendships die in America, not from rejection, but from hesitation to start first. And if this kind of psychology behind everyday life interests you, hit the like button and subscribe. I'm trying to break down the invisible things that shape how we live, connect, and slowly drift apart because the psychology is only half the story. The bigger issue is that friendship used to happen by accident. In school, college, neighborhoods, offices, people kept seeing the same people again and again. Same classroom, same lunch break, same boring conversations. Nobody had to formally say, hey, do you want to build a friendship over the next few months? You just existed around each other long enough. That repetition did the work. First, someone became familiar, then comfortable. Even safe in one day, without any announcement, they became your friend. But adult life in America has quietly moved a lot from those repeated spaces. People move cities for work or they work from home. And they live alone, they commute alone. Even when they meet someone interesting, there's no guarantee they'll ever see them again. So friendship becomes another task. You have to follow up, have to pick a date, have to suggest a plan even. Asking someone for coffee can feel like sending a job application. And social media makes this even more confusing because it makes people visible, but not reachable. You can know where someone went last weekend, know what they ate, even when they got a haircut, but you may still not know who they are becoming or whether they're lonely. This is the American loneliness problem that doesn't always look like loneliness. It looks like having hundreds of contacts, but nobody you can casually call on a Tuesday night. It looks like group chats, story replies, and likes, but very few places where friendship can actually begin, because friendship needs something old-fashioned, repeated presence, not any perfect conversation. Not a follow-up, not a reaction to someone's story, actual time, a walk, a meal. A weekly game in place where the same people keep showing up until your nervous system stops treating them like strangers. And maybe that's the uncomfortable truth. We keep expecting friendship to feel instant, but closeness is slow. Research by Jeffrey Hall found that it takes around 50 hours to become casual friends, around 90 hours to become friends, and more than 200 hours to become close friends. That explains a lot. Maybe Americans aren't bad at friendship. Maybe modern life just gives people one coffee and expects 200 hours of closeness. Friendship doesn't usually begin with a deep conversation. It begins when you show up again and again, until one day, asking them to meet doesn't feel weird anymore. It just feels normal. And if you want more videos like this about psychology, modern life, and why normal things feel so hard now, subscribe. Because sometimes the problem isn't you, because the world has changed and nobody taught us how to live in it.